So I liked the fact that I was going to get a nice quiet morning and then news dropped, which means everything I had planned for the weekend is shifting. So you can look forward to that. So what news do we get this morning and why are we doing this? Well, there's a lot here. So we got new bees, the archetype. Bees. Alright, sorry, I had to get that out of my system. So, the new Sting the Poison Battle Wasp. So, it's 400, 800, nothing too spectacular here. Coming in at a 400, 800, level 2. This card is no more special. You can add a Battle Wasp monster from your deck to your hand, except for himself. And quick effect, contribute one insect monster, except this card. Target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of the turn. I like Stratos effects. I'm really hoping that the bees can extend themselves and like special summon and things like that. Like they also have the same abbreviation as Blackwing in the OCG, which is Black Feather. So BF, it's really cool. But it's cute that you can tribute an insect to blink something as a quick effect. That's pretty cute, but I'm not a super big fan of -1s, especially this style. I mean, good news is it's a tuner, so I'm accepted of that fact, but I mean, outside of that, like, what kind of value are we actually going to be putting down into this? So, that is one thing, to say the least of, is, it's a tuner, it's a step in the right direction, but, I mean, however much more we're going to have to dedicate to this. Ugh. So, next up, we have Battle Wasp Twin Bow the Attacker. Alright, so it's 1,500 when it's not a tuner. That's one thing. So during your main phase, you can special summon this card from your hand, but for the rest of this turn, you can special summon monsters for your extra deck, except for insect monsters. So I don't particularly mind a restriction like this because we do need the extenders and things like that. But man, even in today's day and age, insects just got the shaft on good cards, and it's really disappointing because like every other archetype over here just has the most amazing cards. I mean, I guess you can play this with crawlers, right? Like then second effect is this card can make a second attack during each battle phase. It doesn't have to attack an opponent's monster, but that's one thing. And then you can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn each, so you're only able to special summon one of these out a turn. No real complaints there. I wish we could extend more, but I have to understand that you have to make things fair these days, so that's fine. Now, next up, we do have Azusa the... See, there's that BF I was telling you guys about. This is Azusa the God Bow. It's a Battle Wasp. So, it is level 5, by the way, so that's incredibly good. It's 2216, so we're in the right step in the right direction here. So, one tuner plus one or more non-tuner. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. So, when you inflict damage to your opponent by the effect of a Battle Wasp monster, except this card, even during damage step, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of the monster. So that means if I'm battling and I inflict damage to my opponent, I also get to ping them for more damage. Hold up here. So, if I attack with this guy once, and this guy basically does 3,000 damage. You can't use that more than once per turn, but I mean, fuck it. We'll take what we get. This card is already in your graveyard. When a Battle Wasp monster you control is destroyed destroys a monster in battle. You also summon this card in defense mode, but banish it when it leaves the field. Alright, so this guy actually recovers himself when a Battle Wasp destroys something by battle. I actually think this would have been a little bit better had we actually had him be able to come out when you summon another Battle Wasp. I don't know, I think I'm asking a little bit too much there for an effect like that. But, okay, so any other Battle Wasp deals damage, I get to ping my opponent for extra damage once per turn. I mean, hey, we'll take what we get. Overall, like, I'm low-key actually looking forward to this because I love insects in general. And I'm a little bit hesitant because it's insects. They've never really just gotten the best thing ever. Like, Verdant Sanctuary was okay, but like insects always get the shaft, and it's rather disappointing. So that's one thing I do want to point out is, yes, these guys seem cute and things like that, but for competitiveness, just how well are we going to be out here? You know what I mean? Next up, we have some rumored effects for the little plant monster, or little Cybers things. So this is Link Apple. Now the first thing I want to say is, if this is true, this is pretty interesting. So you can reveal this card in your hand, randomly banish from your extra deck, face down, a card. If the banished card was a Link monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. If it was not, discard this card and draw a card. once again, we see an aspect of the game where we trade in our extra deck for resources, and I think that this is an interesting step for Yu-Gi-Oh! Because of the way we're going right now, Extravagance has been fantastic, but we're at this stage now that it's like, how much value are we actually going to get out of this? I do think that this card is very degenerate, actually, because you literally just load up your whole extra deck with cards that aren't Link monsters, and you have discard draw ones. You literally have free Upstart Goblins. So I guess in burn decks, this becomes particularly broken, and I'm looking forward to seeing something like that, especially in today's day and age. Like, draw filter, draw filter, draw filter is really good. And then Insect Shinobi Hagarakumune. So it is up, left, and then down. And it's generic, so it's 2 monsters with different names. Okay, well, it's as generic as you're going to get. So you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. So as long as this card is linked to a monster, your opponent cannot target this card with an attack. Which, I mean, isn't terrible, because he comes in at 1,000 attack, which is kind of weak for his stats. But, you have to understand that, yes, little monsters do things, but yeah. And if a monster this card points to is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 level 4 lower insect monster from your hand or graveyard, but banish when it leaves the field. I actually really wish this included an effect to special summon from the deck. It's kind of disappointing that we actually didn't get a clause like that for this guy, but very interesting, at least for a generic Link monster for insects. This is what we're going with. Now, we got some other cool stuff here. So, just a few days ago, we got the release of OTS 10. Next, My Body as a Shield has been updated. With this update, the text now matches the OCG counterpart in Duel Links, whose update we reported on previously. So when your opponent activates a spell, trap card, or monster effect, that would destroy a monster on the field. You pay 1,500 life points to negate that activation, and if you do, destroy it. In other words, even if it's not directly visible, the restriction on activating My Body as a Shield during the damage step has been removed. You can find more details and other things. In other news, Portuguese edition of OTS 10 got other cards. We don't get these. So they got Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode, Tomb Kaiser, Arcanite Colossal Fighter, Arcana Apprentice, Red Dragon Archfiend, Doom Kaiser Dragon, Colossal Fighter, Assault Teleport, and Assault Counter. I'm just kind of bringing them up to speed with other releases. So that's one thing I wanted to tell you guys about, that yes, My Body is a Shield's restriction for the damage step gone. Now, we'll get a few more Valkyrie cards to kind of talk about here. These just kind of came out of nowhere, actually, with the new set. So, Valkyrie Fufnite. So, Valkyrie monsters you control will gain 200 attack for each of your opponent's banished monsters. If you control another Valkyrie monster, except for Valkyrie Fufnite, you can send 1 spell and trap card from your deck to the graveyard. And you can only use one effect, or you can only use this effect for once per turn. So you get a Foolish Burlesque effect. She comes in at 1200, and she is, in fact, level 2. We've wanted the Valkyrie support for so long. I'm not going to be mad if it sucks. So, Valkyrie Chariot. So, 500, 1000. Once per turn, you can target 1 fairy monster you control, equip this card to that target, or unequip this card and special summon it. Doesn't include the effect of this card is always treated as a Valkyrie card. If the equipped monster be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy this card instead. When the equipped monster declares an attack, you can have it gain 500 attack. The attack gain lasts until this card leaves the battlefield. So, not so much on that. Then last but not least is Logi's Flames. Continuous trap card. As long as you control a Valkyrie monster, monsters your opponent controls with 2,000 or more attack cannot attack, which is actually really good. If you're able to kind of use this and jam out your opponent, that's really good. This card in your possession is destroyed by a card effect of your opponent. You can special summon 1 level 5 or higher Valkyrie monster from your deck. Now, of course, give these translations a little bit of time as we get everything rolled out here. I believe we have pictures of this stuff now. But yes, we did it. Interesting Valkyrie support. I mean, it's not broken. Like, there's not a lot you can do, but for the most part, we're getting somewhere here. So next up, last but not least on the news, is yes, we have our official picture of Ghost Nun, and yes, she did get the errata in her picture. Yup, the hood that she was once wearing is now gone. She's now basically a ghost sister. So, I just want to show that. So, guys, please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think about today's news. Some rather interesting stuff, but, well, of course, the ride never ends, I guess. All right. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out VanCole40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.